On April 8th of 2024, one of the largest solar eclipse events in America is going to happen.
On April 8th, a total eclipse of the sun will plunge millions of viewers from daylight into darkness for more than 4 captivating minutes in parts of the country.
When the last solar eclipse happened in 2017, there was nowhere near as much hype as there is now in 2024. And it made me think like, yo, what's the big deal? Why is everyone freaking out about this solar eclipse? Well, because you're going to have much wider coverage and you're going to be able to see the full totality of the solar eclipse from so many more states, literally twice as wide as it was in 2017.
The total eclipse will span a 115-mile wide path across 13 states from Texas to Maine.
But even then, I just don't get it. I don't get why people want to stand outside and look up at the sun with some special glasses. I just don't understand, but it's special to a lot of people. And what's gonna happen is so many people are going to flock to specific states and specific areas, and these towns and cities and states are not prepared for this influx of people. There's crazier situations where some of these small towns are declaring a state of emergency because they know that the town is gonna get overrun. Grocery stores are gonna run out of food, out of water. Gas stations are gonna run out of gas. This is going to happen across a lot of states. Local officials for all these states that are going to be actually seeing this influx have been preparing for this for 2 years because there's going to be a massive influx of people on the road, people traveling, people in all these different small towns that are going to be influxed. And they want to make sure that they have enough ambulances, actually police officers and state troopers on the road because people can potentially get stranded for more than 24 hours in their car because gridlock is going to be so bad. But the crazier part about this whole entire thing, they are actually shutting down schools. I'm like, why are they shutting down schools? Why is that even necessary? And then it hit me, oh my God. Imagine your kids go to school right before the eclipse is supposed to happen, and then they go home in the school bus and they get stuck on the school bus because of all the traffic because of the solar eclipse. There are specific states that have already made the announcement that they will in fact be closed for the actual solar eclipse. We're talking about Texas, Ohio, Indiana, New York, Pennsylvania, and Vermont. But that's not all the states where the solar eclipse is going to be in totality. So there are going to be a lot of other states that are going to be affected, but these are the ones that have announced that they are going to close for the day for school, so you don't have to worry about sending your kids and possibly getting them stuck on the school bus on their way home. Let me give you a second list of all the states that are going to be affected by this whole solar eclipse totality. You're talking about Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, and Maine. All of these states are going to see a massive influx of people coming to actually visit, stay for the week, stay for the day, whatever it's going to be. It's going to be a rough day, so everyone needs to have patience out there. Now, all of these people coming into these actual towns, cities, states, people are like, why is this such a big deal? Well, guess what? The power grids are not used to it. The actual cell phones may potentially lose their signals because think about it. You have all these people in this one dense area, literally with their phones up and out, recording and trying to stream it live, trying to send it to their friends, talking on phones, whatever it may be. There's going to be a massive influx. Now, AT&T and T-Mobile are saying, oh, we've been working on this. It's not going to be an issue. But I'm telling you right now, I just have a bad feeling that service is going to go out in a lot of states and people are going to be shocked because there's going to be a massive influx that we've never seen of people just out there looking at the sun. And there's people out there saying we might possibly have to live off the grid for like a week or 2 weeks. I really believe that's highly unlikely. There's going to be an influx in these specific states that are going to be affected. Some people are just more focused on trying to get as many views as they possibly can instead of telling the truth. So we're not going to try to scare you. I just want you to be aware of what's going on and where it's going to happen so you can kind of prepare for it because it's going to be kind of crazy and it is one of the biggest things going on in the news right now. Even crazier, Delta Airlines decided to jump on the bandwagon and they actually created a specific flight where you will get the best view of the solar eclipse. Well, it sold out in 24 hours. They doubled down into the second flight, but don't you worry. There are 5 other flights that if you are possibly on these, you will get an amazing view of the solar eclipse. I'm going to go ahead and break down the list of all the other Delta airline flights that you can be on and actually have a pretty good view of the solar eclipse. Now, on Delta Airlines, flight 5699 from Detroit to Westchester County, flight 924 from Los Angeles to Dallas-Fort Worth, flight 1001 from Salt Lake City to San Antonio, Texas, flight 1683 from Salt Lake Lake City to Austin, Texas. And then you have another one, flight 2869 from Los Angeles to San Antonio, Texas. So you have 5 other flights. If you're out there, you get lucky. Don't forget to wear your special goggles. You've probably heard other people also say, oh my God, there's all these cyber attacks that are going on. Is it leading up to doomsday for the solar eclipse? I don't believe that has nothing to do with it. We get thousands and possibly millions of cyber attacks every day. But there was one cyber attack that kind of freaked me out that just happened. And of course, nobody's talking about it because it was an actual cyber attack on the infrastructure for our water systems in the United States. Cyber attacks that are targeting US water systems are 100% real. This has been all over like small news, but not big news because of course they're not trying to freak out Americans here. But this is really truly happening. States are being asked to assess vulnerabilities at water utilities following attacks linked to the Chinese and Iranian governments. This isn't clickbait, this is 100% real, so be aware of that. I'm not saying go stock up on water, but I'm just saying this is not bueno because our infrastructure is super weak and this can cause a huge problem for Americans if they are able to actually crack the code and get into our systems. If you're actually in the solar eclipse totality zone, you may be faced with a lot of serious issues. Gas stations running out of gas, grocery stores running out of food. There's not going to be water to buy anywhere because everyone's stockpiling because it's almost like when COVID happened, right? We couldn't find any toilet paper. So just brace yourself, be calm and cool, and we'll get through it together. And I just wanted to bring you this information so you have real information as to what's going on because a lot of people are talking about Jesus is coming, and let's be honest, that's probably not going to happen. But if it does, I'll eat my words and I'll apologize. But let's be honest, the world is not going to end because of a solar eclipse unless there's a bunch of solar flares and then our infrastructure falls apart. But anyways, I just wanted to give you the information so you can arm yourself and be prepared for anything that's going to happen in your local state. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you watch the next video because it is about another credit union that a lot of people don't talk about. If you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.